In today's video, I want to talk about how you can protect your money amidst all of the chaos that's happening between the escalating war with Israel and Iran. And I understand it was a bit of a clickbaity title, you know, with World War 3 alert, but I think as long as this conflict is going on, it's so unpredictable. Whilst World War 3 isn't really likely, it is always a possibility, especially if the US join Israel in this war. But I don't really want to go massively into the geopolitical details of that because it's, you know, I'm not a geopolitical expert. I'm going to touch on that briefly because I think it's important to keep you guys up to date. But more importantly, how can we protect our finances should all hell break loose? That's what I'm going to talk about today. This could be one of the most powerful videos I've ever shared. Because at the end of the day, we need to protect our money to keep food on the water, food on the table, keep the roof over our head, and keep life going as much as we can amidst all of the chaos that is happening, and ultimately protect our money and keep growing it because it can be done, and history has told us that. Okay, so let's get on with the video. So let me give you a quick geopolitical update. So Israel and Iran, they're still, you know, trading blows. I was watching a lot of videos yesterday about what is going on and trying to figure out what's happening with this all. And it just strikes me that Israel is trying to drag Trump into the war with them so that they can basically annihilate and finish Iran and change the regime there and finish the Greater Israel Project. And there's probably other agendas going on here, but I'm not going to go into because it's out of the scope of this video. Now, one of the main leaders in Iran stepped forward and said, you know, if this war escalates, they might close the Strait of Hormuz. If that happens, that is a really, really bad situation for all of us because it's one of the main shipping routes in the world. That shipping route transports 25% of the world's oil supply, so if that gets closed, we're going to be seeing major oil shortages. Oil's going to shoot up, petrol price is going to shoot up, and at the end of the day, gas is going to start running out the pubs. We're going to have gas and petrol shortages. It's going to affect food supply. Airlines are going to be, it will be utter chaos. So we really, really do not want that to happen. And I think that would really affect the markets as well. And also the next thing we really need to watch out for is what Trump does with this war. I'm really hoping that between him, Russia and the US, they can get Israel and Iran around the negotiating table and use diplomacy instead of weapons to decide this war. Because obviously if this goes into an all-out conflict, if the US joins Israel, that's probably going to draw Russia and China into the war to back Iran because Iran's part of BRICS. That is basically World War 3. We really, really do not want that. And I'm just really hoping Trump is the bigger man here. He has the power to tell Netanyahu, no, I'm not joining the war. You're on your own. But more importantly, get around the negotiating table and sort this out rather than taking the whole world down with you. So I'm really hoping that that's what's going to happen. So that is a quick geopolitical update. You know, as we speak, Israel and Iran are still trading blows. They're still firing rockets at one another. So it's kind of, yeah, it's kind of a boiling point. And I'll be honest with you, I've no idea what's going to happen there. It's extremely, extremely volatile situation. Israel and Netanyahu, that guy is an utter lunatic, most dangerous man on the planet, in my opinion. Who knows what he could do? He could either just ram, if he could literally wake up one morning and fire a nuke at Iran and start all hell. Whilst hopefully he doesn't do that. That's the kind of man he is. He's a lunatic, and unfortunately he has got the whole West under his thumb. Israel is far more powerful than anyone can imagine. I'm going to leave it at that because I'm going off on one. So that is the geopolitical update. Keep an eye on it because it's very, very important. So, okay. And I was doing some research because I really wanted to look at history to figure out how major wars and sort of major global situations affect the markets. And I found something really, really interesting. So amongst all of the big crashes that we've seen, the great crash, I think it was 1929, I think it was the 1988 crash, obviously 2008 COVID. Yes, there was a major trigger. The markets crashed hugely, but within weeks and months, excuse me, the markets always recovered. If not, they recovered stronger. Because you've got to bear in mind, the markets they're driven by two things: fear and greed. And obviously, when there's a major situation like a war, when war breaks out, everyone panics. They pulls their money out of the market, either shove it into gold or just leave it in the bank account, waiting to see what happens next. And the problem is once the thing everyone's scared of starts, once the kind of fears goes and the uncertainty goes, we're in a war now, okay, great, the war's rumbling on, for instance, then the markets actually recover and everything kind of returns to normal because there's no uncertainty. You're in war, great, everyone knows what's happening, so the markets actually recover. And that is the trend I've seen amongst every major, we're talking World War One, World War Two, the Great Depression, the big crash of '88, the financial credit crunch of '08, COVID. After every major incident in the world, the markets crashed, but they always recovered, and they just didn't recover. They recovered strongly. So, what is my great lesson for you here about how to protect your money? And don't get me wrong, I'm not some guru investor. I'm not going to come up with some secret strategy or secret trade or stock to get into. It is just common sense. And that is basically just to keep your money in the market. Choose your lane, whether you want to, keep your money in the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, your favorite stocks you believe in. Just keep your money in there and keep putting money in there, because there's the greatest rule of investing anyone can ever give you. Time in the market beats time in the market every single time. If you're trying to look for the crash or beat the crash and buy at the dip, you're going to lose every single time. No one can do it. It's just the markets can be very, very unpredictable. So the best thing to do right now is to choose your favorite stocks or the index you want to follow, dollar cost average every month, whatever you can afford, and just keep going. It's obviously good to diversify your portfolio as well, but just keep your money in the market. Do not panic. Panic is the worst thing you can do now. Don't rip your money out of the market, because it will blow up in your face. The best thing we can do is just keep your money in your stocks, whatever you believe in. Keep your money in it. Keep putting money in it. Buy some gold if you want. I think gold's always a good hedge right now. If the dollar really tanks, if something really kicks off, if if US does join the war, the American economy absolutely tanks. I think it's always good to have gold. The dollar could suffer, but just keep going. Whatever you're doing, whatever stock you believe in, whether it's the S&P, NASDAQ, just keep putting your money in, and just have time in the market. There's a reason why Warren Buffett is the most successful investor of all time. He just chooses his stocks and keeps his money in them. Now, there's obviously other strategies we can do to obviously maximize our portfolios. I mean, I can tell you now, 2025 is going to be massively volatile with the markets, with obviously the Ukraine war still going on. Who knows what's going to happen with Israel and Iran? I think the market's going to go on a seesaw. So whenever a bit of bad news comes out, you're going to see the markets dip, might even crash a little. Obviously, if something major happens, it's going to be a big crash, but it's going to recover. So yeah, don't panic sell. Just keep your money where, if you believe in what you've got and it's grown this far, keep your money in, keep investing. Now one thing I will say, you can actually trade the dips, the volatility if you want. I mean, there's one strategy I'm doing. You can use options and leveraged ETFs to trade the volatility if you want. Obviously you don't want to put your whole house on that. But if you want to make some extra money to back up your investments, that you've already got your steady investments, you can use options to bet on stocks so you can profit whether a stock rises or falls. And also you can use leveraged ETFs as well. Leveraged ETFs are a new financial tool. They basically track a stock or an index, and the whole point of them is to double or treble or more the daily profits that stock or index sees. And you can make, and these are short-term investments, we're talking no more than a couple of weeks, but what they allow you to do is double or treble the gains you would normally get from trading this stock that the leverage ETF is following by 2 or 3 times. And you only want your money in those things for 2 to 3 weeks. But obviously, if you pick a good trade, you can make quite a lot of money very quickly. So outside of your dollar cost averaging, whatever it is, short-term trading with options and leveraged ETFs this year, I think it's going to be a good short-term trading strategy because we're going to see a whole lot of volatility, not just in the S&P and NASDAQ, but across all kinds of stocks, especially the AI stocks. Now, so what I'm going to do, if you want to learn more about that, there's only one man I follow. It's Larry Benedict. He's one of the best short-term traders that he uses options and leveraged ETFs to trade the volatility. He gives weekly and monthly trade alerts. So if you want to join his service, I love it. Been a member since 2022. I'll leave a link below. No pressure. If it doesn't interest you, no worries. But if you do want to just back up your investment account, with what you're doing, why not check it out? It's a good little service. Now, as for me, my lane is all about AI stocks. I really believe in AI stocks. I think it's the most surefire bet out there. I've been following AI now for a couple of years, and I love AI stocks, and that's just my thing. So my point is that you've got to find your thing, key about it, whether it's the S&P 500, NASDAQ, or if you want to invest in AI stocks, but just dollar cost average into your favorite stocks or index. Keep it going. Don't worry about what's happening in the market. Yeah, you should keep an eye on it, but don't panic sell, don't panic buy. Just keep doing what you're doing, and unless the world comes to an end or World War 3 breaks loose and we all get nukes, when money won't matter anyway, I think unless that happens, you're still going to come out richer than you are now over time. And Warren Buffett is perfect. He's the perfect man for that. He just picks his stocks, keeps his money in, and yeah, might even be a trillionaire. I don't know. Now, if you're interested in AI stocks, I have actually got an AI stock brief. It's completely free. It's one page. Just brings you up to speed really quickly with the AI market and my 3 of my favorite AI stocks. So if you want to download that for free, I'll leave a link in the comment description below. And also, there's only one guy I follow for AI stocks. That's Jeff Brown from the Near Future Report. He gives monthly updates on the markets, but also he issues monthly buy and sell alerts for his favorite AI stocks. Basically happening. So I'll leave a link to the Near Future Report in the comments and description below. It's my favorite AI and tech stock picking and advisory service. Been a member since 2022. I love it. I've basically learned all of my knowledge from Jeff when it comes to the AI stocks and the AI market. So if you want to check that out, no pressure to do so. I'll leave a link to the Near Future Report down below if you want monthly AI stock research, market updates, and stock advisory. Anyway, that is what I've got for you. The last thing I'll say before checking out is don't panic. Time in the market is more important than time in the market. Dollar cost average into whatever stock or index or fund you believe in. Don't panic sell, don't panic buy, just keep your money in, keep going, and you will see over time your funds will grow. And that is how you're going to get through all of the chaos that is happening. Hope you got value from the video. Want to like, want to subscribe, want to comment below of any questions or comments you have. Thanks for joining me, and I'll speak to you soon.